Okay, guys, we are going to film the Isaiah video today, but I want to share something with you real quick. I don't know if you've seen the Third Temple video or not. It's right here at the top of the menu. The video I did on Third Temple. It's got currently, and I have not refreshed in the last probably 20 minutes, 1,200 plus views. I have never had a video get that many views before. Well, this is a sign of the times that we were in. There has been a huge amount. I'm over 1,500 subscribers now. I looked at my analytics earlier. And this kind of stuff, of course, first of all, it brought out a lot of great comments, but it also brought out a whole lot of the weirdos. There's a lot of weird people out there that have some really weird ideas about Scripture. Anyway, be that as it may. If you haven't watched this video, go watch it. There's some really interesting information that's been discovered. They're building the temple. They're building it. It's full, ready to go. And don't be surprised. There's going to be a whole lot of fighting because of this, but it's here. This is one of the things that we've been looking for. It's one of the signs of these end times. It's one of the big indicators of what's coming. There has to be, and a lot of people disagree on this, whatever, there has to be a physical temple in order for the Antichrist to stand in that temple and declare himself God. Anyway, so that video is really getting a lot of attention, and I'm glad, and it's brought a lot of new people to the channel. Now, with that being said, later today, later tonight maybe, or tomorrow, I don't know yet. I haven't uploaded, I haven't posted it yet. I'm going to take my If You've Been Left Behind video down as the channel introduction video, and I'm going to put this video up, and this is a welcome, do me a favor video. And it's just going to express, because a lot of people will watch 5 or 10 minutes, if that, of a video and immediately think they have to tell me how to be saved. We know how to be saved around here. I'm approaching 3,000 videos since January 2019. We've covered this subject in myriads of ways, and I've covered so many other things, and I keep getting people all the time that keep telling me, well, you need to read this, you need to read this. Well, I have. Go check out my other videos. I've covered most of this in great detail. There are very few subjects I haven't covered, and there's not a whole lot of scripture I haven't gone through. I have playlists on tons of stuff. So it's a video basically saying, welcome to the channel, but please do me a favor and go watch some content first before you automatically assume I don't know what I'm talking about, or automatically assume that I need your advice on something. I welcome advice, but I want you to make sure you gauge that with understanding where I'm at first before just arbitrarily assuming. And if you're a Christian preaching to other Christians, we don't preach to other Christians. We preach to unbelievers. We teach, exhort, admonish, convict, and strengthen and edify fellow Christians. So your salvation messages and that, they're great, but you're presenting them to the wrong crowd. There's another crowd out there that needs to hear that. Take that you're doing, that copy and paste, because another thing I'm tired of is people spamming my comment sections. You don't need to say the same message over and over again in my comment section. That a message that we all here already know. Take that copy and paste and go put it on secular channels. Sure, they're probably going to block you, but at least you put the message there. And share it with as many people as you can that's outside of the faith. They need to hear that message much more than we do. I don't know where this thing came from, where you have to preach to other people that are saved. We don't need to preach to them. We don't need to preach to each other. We share what the Lord is revealing with each other. But we all already know how to be saved, so it's kind of a wasted effort. Anyway, that video, and you'll get to see that video, but that video is going to become the new video to welcome people to the channel who aren't subscribed, in order for them to be able to understand where I'm coming from, because I get this a lot and I constantly have to address it, and then other people, because when I respond, they immediately feel like I'm attacking them because I told them, well, you're kind of wasting your time preaching that here. We already know how to do that here. I've discussed it in great, great detail. So there's no need for you to waste your message on those who already know it. Go put that message before people who need to hear it. And it's nothing direct attack or nothing against anybody that does that stuff. It's just, if you're going to spam the comment section with that kind of stuff, it's really a waste of time and a waste of effort on your part to do that, where it's not going to have really any effect. It's just you're wasting words. So, and when somebody assumes I don't know what I'm talking about, I would really like them to take the time at least just to scan through and look at some of the stuff I've covered, because it may be that I've already covered this subject, sometimes even multiple times. and so people can talk about that. One new subscriber earlier was talking about some of the stuff in the end times. I'm like, yeah, I've covered that actually in several playlists. And then they were talking about CERN. I was like, oh yeah, I've covered CERN too, you know. And it's like, go look at my stuff first. Click on the little tabs and just look and see what I've got in there. I got tons of stuff covering just one end to the other in the Bible, and all kinds of stuff around the world from 2019 on. So anyway, that you'll see that video pop up. That this is the way you'll understand what that video is for. Now, of course, there's amazing stuff happening, and I also am going to refilm the Shroud of Turin video that I did with the same stuff, so you guys can see that. Yesterday was a severe heightened attack, and now we're past it, and so I'm going to film it again. I've been testing everything to make sure it's working. I'm going to film it again, and I'm going to re-upload it again. It'll either be today or tomorrow that I'll re-upload that video, and you'll know when you see it because it's going to have the same title. Okay, now let's get into Isaiah 39, and it's a short one. Now in this, it's envoys from Babylon, and in my phone app, oh, whoops. Let's go back to it here, 39. It's just called the Babylonian envoys. So we know where we've been at. These guys are coming in to have a little talk with Hezekiah. Now Hezekiah in the previous chapter had just been given an extra 15 years of life from God. God blessed him very richly. Let's see what he does with it, because I think that's what this is going to be talking about in a way. So Isaiah 39:1. At that time, Merodach, Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present to Hezekiah, for he heard that he had been sick and had recovered. And Hezekiah was pleased with them, and showed them the house of his treasures, the silver and gold, the spices, the precious ointment, and all his armory, all that was found among his treasures. There was nothing in his house or in all his dominion that Hezekiah did not show them. Oops. Then Isaiah the prophet went to King Hezekiah and said to him, "What did these men say, and from where did they come to you?" So Hezekiah said, "They came to me from a far country, from Babylon." And he said, "What have they seen in your house?" So Hezekiah answered, "They have seen all that is in my house. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not shown them." I think some of you guys might already know where this is going. Then Isaiah said to Hezekiah, "Hear the words of the Lord of hosts. Behold, the days are coming when all that is in your house and what your fathers have accumulated until this day shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left, says the Lord." And we know that happened. Verse 7, "And they shall take away some of your sons who will descend from you, whom you will beget, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon." So Hezekiah said to Isaiah, "The word of the Lord which you have spoken is good." For he said, "At least there will be peace and truth in my days." So on Hezekiah's part, he made a mistake. Now, I understand where his heart was, but he made a mistake. You don't ever show people everything you have. You don't ever tell people everything you have. I see these people today putting up these videos about prepping and talking about all the stuff they have, showing the places that they have. And, you know, after they do their little video, at some point down the road, usually something happens and they end up getting raided and it gets taken away from them. You don't ever want to show anybody what you have or where you have it. You don't ever want to let anybody know exactly what you're doing, especially nowadays, because people are recording that and they're going to take it away from you when the time comes. And there will be a time coming when they will come and they will try to take it away from you. So especially when you're dealing with an enemy that's a nation, you don't want to ever show them everything you have. A military never reveals all of its hardware. And one of the dumb things that our current president did was in Afghanistan, he gave them $85 million worth of equipment, literally showed them what our technology is. They have our technology. Now they can find ways to, and if you think they can't do it, you're wrong. I've seen them do it. They can reverse it, engineer it, and come up with ways to defeat it. We gave them the blueprints for everything we have. That's dumb. You don't ever do that. So they know how to work our equipment and they know how to defeat our equipment because we gave it to them. You don't ever do that. You don't ever, ever, ever. Even a trusted nation, Until they can be allowed into your inner circle, you never show them everything you have. Because if you show them what you have and you show them where it is, they are going to come take it from you. Hey, this guy's got a lot of stuff. And that's what they're saying here. And that's what God warned him of. They're going to come take your stuff. They're going to carry it all to Babylon because you showed them where it is and what it is. They want that gold. They want that. So they're going to come take it. It's going to happen. So he made a mistake there. And the Lord warned him about that. Now, what did Hezekiah respond? No, I can't change it. There's no sense in getting mad about it. What he said was good. But he said, at least there will be peace and truth in my days. Which means whatever this is going to happen after the fact. Now, there's a little bit of a code kind of hidden in there. Peace and truth in my days. In the future days, there won't be. That's our time now. A little bit of a secret hidden in the scriptures there. It's really important for us to pay attention to what's being said here. This is warnings for us. Would you ever show somebody everything you have? I know people that have done that. A friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, had a small safe loaded with silver coins, old silver coins, all kinds of stuff. Pretty much their nest egg, in case of an emergency, was in there. They made the mistake of showing the wrong person. And it all disappeared. Every single piece of it. And the enemy that took it was in their own house. A member of their own family. You don't ever show everybody everything you have. You got to keep a couple of aces up your sleeve. Just in case. Now, if you don't have anything to lose and there's nobody relying on that stuff, and you don't have a responsibility to other people, which he did, which it was kind of dumb for him to do this, then you can show them everything if you're not worried about losing it all. See, he had a whole nation relying on him. And so it really wasn't that smart that he showed them all that stuff, and the Lord, not without telling him that, let him know, hey, it really wasn't a good idea, because he tells him in verse 6, behold, the days are coming when all that is in your house and what your fathers have accumulated until this day shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left. So he was basically warning it. Hey, since you showed it to them, they're going to come get it. Now, they're probably, because I don't know how strong Babylon was at that time, they're probably going to wait till he's dead. Because they probably have agreements with him. Since envoys were coming, they had agreement and everything was cool. But once he's gone, they're going to come take it. That's going to be the end of it. When he's out of there, hey, we had an agreement with him. He's dead. We don't have an agreement with you. We see much the same thing happening today around the world. So this is a lesson. Well, first of all, this is stuff, a lot of this stuff is happening now, but this is a lesson. You see, they're going to come do that in the tribulation. They're going to come and take Israel, take everything they have, gold, silver. They just found one of the biggest gold mines ever discovered in the history of man. The nations want to come take that stuff. Same thing. See, this is why Israel, got smart. They don't show everything they have. It's like everybody's like, well, how many nuclear missiles does Israel have? People think it's between 100 and 300. Actual number is over 600. But they won't tell everybody the actual number because you don't ever tell anybody everything you have. You don't ever let them know everything you have going on. Because if you do, they're going to take advantage of it. That's just the way people are. So yeah, there's a little bit of a life lesson here for all of us. And he's even going to take some of his sons too. Make them eunuchs, and they're going to live and work and dwell in the palace, serve in the palace. So at least there will be peace and truth in my days. That last sentence there jumps out at me a lot. At least there will be peace and truth in my days. It's the future days that aren't going to be, I guess. But he's also, another thing too, he's trusting in God because God told him, God told him that everything's going to be good. You're going to get 15 more years. So he's looking forward to that, but what happens after that, I don't know. I think at some point they did plan for that. Little good that it does, because Babylon's going to take whatever they want. So that was Isaiah 39, Envoys from Babylon. Tomorrow, and it was a short one, but tomorrow, Comfort for God's People, Isaiah 40. This is a good chapter. I've read this chapter before. You see the highlights there. I've used this in other videos, and we're going to cover. This is a good one, though. This has got a lot in it, but yeah, this is going to be important. This one has a lot in it that applies to our time. And no wonder that number 40 is pretty important in the Bible. So yeah, tomorrow's video is going to be real good and have a whole lot more content in it than this one. So that was Isaiah 39. I want to thank you guys for watching. I know it's short. Some of these are short. Some of these are very short. But this is a specific interaction that has pretty much one singular lesson in it. Don't ever trust everybody, especially if they're outside of your circle of people. And even don't trust some of the ones inside of it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.